Welcome back, everyone, to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. Now, in our previous episode, we got our new season started with event number 1 in Singapore, and we came away with a great finish of 2nd for Rodriguez and then 11th for Sergio. If we look at our team standings, we sit now in 2nd, 4 points out of the lead, and so things are going well. Now, the one thing I did do off camera is I began some scouting on drivers that are currently in Tier 2 as we are. And the reason I did this is because I'm looking forward a little bit to Rodriguez. Now, he's 31, and we've got him for 2 more years. So that means that when the contract ends with us, he's going to be 33. And I know that the game triggers a decline in abilities for drivers somewhere around the mid-30s. So I'm going to be hesitant to renew his contract after that for very much money, if at all, simply because of that. So I'm starting to look around at other drivers in the same tier and seeing, who we might be able to get whenever it's time to move up to Tier 1, whether that's hopefully after this season or after the following season. Of course, Sergio is 24 years old, so he is still climbing as far as his ratings go. All right, you can already see we've got some mail down here at the bottom, and we'll go ahead and move along through some of these emails. We know we've got car condition updates to work through, but the biggest thing, of course, is our new gearbox is ready. Okay, so our new gearbox is ready, which means that it's time to design yet another new part, and for now, we're going to continue with the gearbox. So we went from 489 and 558. Now we've jumped from 558 to 586. So a nice jump there. Again, I usually look at 40 to 50 points for a jump. So we're just outside of that in the 586. So now in our next part, we'll look to increase that even more, somewhere around 610 to 620 at a minimum, and hopefully much more than that. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. I'm going to stay away from the risk level. And we're going to see, we've got a plus 20 here, risk level over here. I like the plus 40 on the max. Then we've got a plus 25 there. Okay, so this gives us a 645. If I go this direction, it gives us 640. Okay, so really not much difference between the two. We could save a little money by going there, but I'm going to go ahead and give it everything we've got. This also throws in, just for a bonus, an extra 5% on reliability. And then the biggest thing we want to do here is see what we can do next. All right, I noticed that we've got the ability to reduce our risk level. It does cost $1 million, but to me, that's worth it. And then we got a plus 60, which would partner up nice with that. And then also a plus 50 on soft supers and ultras. Wow. Okay, we spend, if it's not raining, we basically spend all of our time on one of those 3 sets of tires, depending on what's available. So I love this option. So I'm very excited about what's coming forward. And of course, then we'll have another category even below that. So I'm excited to see what we can do with our gearboxes this year. For now, this is 645. That's going to be a huge increase. Let's go ahead and get started on that. And it'll take 28 days for that, 24 days till our next GP. The only thing that will actually matter much on is the reliability once we need to work on that. Okay, let's go ahead and fast forward. Okay, this should be our car repairs being complete, and sure enough it is. So we can move in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we need to do. Obviously, we need to improve this. We need to improve these, because if we take a look at our next race, we see that top speed, acceleration, and low speed corners are all crucial, which means they're going to take the biggest beating in reliability. So top speed is fine. It's at 80% because that's a spec part. Okay, so we're fine there. So then acceleration, we need to work on low speed corners. Well, if we look at our low speed corners, the front wing, we're both in the 40s there. And then, of course, the acceleration is our gearbox, and we're good there. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. We've got 23 days. I'm hoping that we can get all of these as high as possible. Whoops, wrong one. Almost chose the wrong one there. So we got 68%. Yeah, so we're doing good on that. But again, it's all going to come down to how many times we have to repair it during our next event. Okay, let's go ahead and Go ahead and fast forward a little bit here. Okay, let's see what we've got going on. Okay, we're at 72, 48, 51. Okay, so not too bad. I hate to fill this up, which is why I'm very excited to try to get more options opened up, because anytime you fill up all the available slots, it goes the slowest it can for improvements. But unfortunately, here we are early in the season, and we don't have much choice there. All right, I tell you what, let's go ahead and just add this one over here. Not that we care a whole lot, but let's just start doing a little bit with it anyway. Okay, looks like everything else is pretty good. We could add that one in there as well. All right, let's, okay, looks like we got some scouting done. Not too terribly worried about that. Okay, so we're at 77% here with 10 days left. I'm actually going to remove that one, try to speed these up any bit that I can. Generally, I like to look at 80 as my minimum for feeling pretty secure and not having to repair it during the race as a bare minimum. But 70 is anything below 70, and I basically feel like that I'm going to have to do something with it during the race. And of course, that's just more time that we spend in the pits. Okay, let's go ahead and keep the momentum going. All right, we're not going to worry about scouting reports too much, but I do want to take a quick look. Okay, not bad. Marketability is terrible, so that's no good. All right, so we've got 8 more days here, and so I'm hoping we can at least get to 70% on everything. We're at 69 on the one part that I removed, I believe, 67 to 69. All right, let's see. Looks like we got something else. Another scouting report. So we've got, oh wow, 0 on braking. All right, so probably doesn't look like anybody we want there, although the marketability is very high. Okay, we've got another email, a dilemma. Let's see, one of our just had a great idea about suspension. Let's see, if we re-engineer the electronics, we'll get some serious performance out of it. Plus 30. Okay, definitely we want to do that. Love that idea. So if we come back in here, that helps out our suspension a little bit. You can see we need all the help we can get. All right, so now we are ready to move forward. Okay, let's come back in and see where we ended up with our improvement. Okay, so we made it to 80 and then just shy of 80. Of course, we got another one here that didn't quite make it. But again, I needed to pump up as many of these as I could. So I'm pretty happy about that. That's good. So now we've got brakes and suspension that are still very low. And then, of course, we got some other parts and pieces here and there that we really need to improve. But for the most part, I'm very pleased with how this has turned out. Let's go ahead and pick our sponsor. Looks like if best case scenario is we only lose a couple 100,000. Let's take a quick look at our parts. And we need somebody to be able to use this newest part. So we'll go ahead and swap this around. And I was looking at the wrong one a while ago, seeing that 69. It's actually 77 on that part. So what we end up with is going from 558 to 594 on Rodriguez, and then from 489 to 558. So a sizable jump for Sergio. Not as much of a jump for Rodriguez, but we're moving very much in the right direction. And we've already seen that with our next new gearbox, that it's going to get even better, up around 650 or so, I believe. So we're making some big jumps so far in the gearbox area. All right, so I believe that takes care of this. And yeah, okay. I think we're all set there. And with that in mind, let's head to the racetrack. Practice and qualifying have just ended, and we are in great shape. We had a great qualifying session. It was actually very interesting because rain was out for nearly all of the qualifying session, but for the last about 2 minutes, of the qualifying session, the track dried out, the rain went away. So everybody was scrambling to try to get into the pits and get on the soft tires so that you could get a dry lap in, which of course is going to be much quicker than a wet lap. So we managed to come out second and third as far as that goes. Let's take a quick look at our knowledge bonuses. We got maxed out 15% on both race trim and the super soft tires. We're not forecasted to have any rain. Again, the little bit I can see out in front. Hopefully our forecasting center will let us, whenever it is done, see out quite a bit more than that. Not necessarily for this, but for next season particularly. And then our car setups, 98% for Sergio. So extremely good setup for him. Going to be starting on the super softs, and we're doing 8 laps of fuel. That should get us about 6 laps running the car hard. So that's what I'm hoping for there. Then if we move over to Rodriguez, setup wasn't quite as good. You can see I kept making adjustments that toward the end there just was not helping the car. So we'll be using the 93% one, which I still think will put us more than okay. So of course we're running a 2-stop strategy here as well. Super soft tires and a little bit more fuel. You can see 2 laps more fuel, and that is to ensure that I can run at least 7 laps with him so that I can spread apart our pit stops and not stack these guys in the pits. Every once in a while that happens to me where we have to do that for one reason or another. Sometimes it's because of simply my bad planning. But we're going to start by having both of them push, and we're going to start on overtake. But again, we're going to keep an eye on the tire wear, the tire heat, that kind of thing. And we'll adjust from there, because as the race goes on, we should not need to push in order to get heat into the tires. But again, that's part of the fun of the game, is seeing how these things go. There you can see we are 2 and 3 on the grid. Starting up front is such a huge advantage in open wheel cars. Let's spin around our camera, and we are off. So looks like Sergio is out in ahead. Oh, if he can stay out in the lead, that will be tremendous. All right, again, keep an eye on our tire heat. So far so good. We're now 1st and 3rd. If we could get 1st and 2nd, that would be amazing. Give ourselves a little bit of a buffer. All right, tire temperature is still not coming up as high as I thought it would, although it is starting to come toward the midline now. Okay, we remain 1st and 3rd. All right, as soon as that tire temperature gets up into this sort of this middle area, I'm going to back off from pushing, because that just pushes the car harder, wears the tires out quicker. We do get a little bit more speed out of it for sure, but at the same time, we also have to take care not to wear the tires out too much. All right, so 1st and 3rd, still everything going great. Trying to put some heat on car in front. There we go. We've gotten some heat into the tire. I'm going to back off a little bit on this. So it looks like Rodriguez is putting all sorts of pressure on the 2nd place car, enabling Sergio to build a little bit of a lead. Again, clean air is everything. And you can see that the top 3 cars here, we've built just a little bit of a gap. Back to us, looks like about 3 seconds. All right, so we're on lap 4 now. Or excuse me, lap 5 is now starting. So we're going to want to run this one and one more with Sergio, and then we'll bring him in, and then we'll bring in Rodriguez shortly after that. All right, now we have gotten into 1st and 2nd. You can see the other cars have backed off quite a bit. We are still pushing pretty hard. We've got condition issues we'll have to deal with probably. Okay, so this will be our final lap with Sergio. We'll finish up this one. I tell you what, let's go ahead and have him pit. Let's go ahead and put that on, and we'll go back with 9 on that. 41, 35. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see what we've got here. Let's go ahead and fix. Whew, okay, that's a lot to fix, but I don't think we can get by without it. And maybe if we fix it this time, we won't have to fix it again. Again, all things we've got to deal with. So Sergio will come in as he finishes up lap 6, and that will leave Rodriguez. We'll go ahead. He's going to run one additional lap. Okay, so far so good. All right. Again, he is way out ahead, so we're building a little bit of a lead, and that is perfect. That's what we want. Fuel options. We're going to go ahead and we'll do 9.5 here. All right, parts, same thing here. We're going to need to fix these 2 parts, which is, again, is going to take way too much time in the pits, but I don't see that we can do anything else. All right, so we come out 6th. For Sergio, that is great. All right, so we're back to 7th. Let's see how this turns out. Rodriguez out in clean air. Can he keep the lead? No, he cannot, but he will come out in great shape in 3rd. Okay, that is awesome. So we come out 3rd and 7th. So far, so good. And again, condition issues will remain the theme for the first few races of the season, probably 3 to 4 at least. All right, so 3rd and 6th. Again, so far so good. We'll keep an eye on the tire heat. Looks like we're a little bit low here with Sergio, but not bad at all. Let's go ahead and have him push, because we're going to be getting close to another pit stop. All right, now we're here 3rd place, but you can see 2nd and 1st right above us on the track. So they're ahead of us by a minimal amount, meaning that if we can pit just a little bit later than this time, then we should come out either ahead of them or right with them. All right, so 10 laps remaining, so we're halfway in the race. So we're looking at making it to about lap, say, 13 or so. All right, so we can see we're getting a little bit cool on the tire temperatures. So let's go ahead and have him push. Oh, looks like Sergio, oh, this is not good at all. We're going to have to back way off on him and come in early. So this is going to, man, I hate to do this. Okay, we're gonna have no choice. We're going to have to change our strategy for him. Let's go ahead and queue him up. We're going to have to, let's see, 8 to 10 laps. We're going to have how many laps? 9 laps. Okay. Let's go ahead and try to stay on these. I hate to get off of the super softs simply because of the bonus they provide. All right, so let's take a second here and see how this is all going to turn out. So we're going to need 9 laps. All right, so 12.17, a little over 12 should enable us to get done what we need to. We're going to have to, let's see, I tell you what. Let's take a chance here. Let's see, what were the conditions? We're going to fix just one. We're going to see if we can make it here on that. Okay, so now Rodriguez, who is in very good shape now, has closed in on the top 2 cars, and now we're pretty much running lockstep with each other. Okay, now they come in. Now it is time for him to really push hard, because we've got the clean air. You can see on the diagram, the mini map here at the top, there is nobody close to us, so we're free to run whatever pace our car can run, rather than what we can do based off of, let's see, we'll go ahead and leave it conserve there. Okay, wanted to make sure I had Sergio set up as best I can. All right, let's see, the blue flag. Okay, wow, we're getting hung up way too much on the blue flag. Okay, so not ideal for sure. But we're going to be coming in here momentarily. We're still doing great as far as our time goes. it will all come down to what we have to do. Wow, you can see the pace really jumped up there. Okay, let's go ahead and set up our pit stop for Rodriguez, and we'll see how much time we've bought ourselves with the excellent lap times. All right, so we're going to go. Okay, so it's 9 seconds either way there. We'll go ahead and do that. All right, and let's see, part conditions, 36 and 35. Wow, I really want to take my chances with this, and I'm going to. We're only going to have, let's see, what is it? Yeah, 6 laps left. Can we make it 6 laps on those part conditions? I'm hoping we can, because we need to save as much time as we can. It's estimated we'll come out in first. Okay, let's go ahead and do it again. We're going to push the envelope here. Sergio is back in 12th. Okay, we need to have him at least go. Let's go ahead and have him push. Okay, so we had an issue with the fueling, but we are still coming out in the lead. Let's go ahead and back down a little bit on the tire until we see how it's going to heat up for us. Yeah, and of course, if I fix the engine at this particular point in time, there's no way we would have a chance because it would take forever. So at this point, we're just going to have to take our chances with this. You can see we've got 8.4, 8.3 seconds. 9 seconds. All right, so that lead's growing. Let's go ahead and back off a little bit on this. I'm hoping, again, I don't know if for sure if this has any effect on the condition of the parts, but I'm sure hoping it does. All right, so we're now up 10 seconds. All right, they seem to be slowing way down as well. So we are coming in on lap number 17. All right, that gives us 4 laps to go. Now we're up by 11 seconds, and I'm just going to, frankly, I'm going to start backing this engine down until I start to see them catching up with me here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. We're up 12 seconds now, and that appears to be growing. And I'm hoping that we can, by slowing down the engine a little bit, that we can take it easy and make it to the end. All right, we're still not getting any tire heat going here for Sergio, who is now in 8th place. So he is doing great here at the end of the race. Tire heat, again, not doing great for Sergio, but we continue to push here while at the same time trying to make these parts last. Let's see what we've got. Oh my goodness, we're at 4%. Wow. Can we make it? Oh my goodness, we have, okay. Yeah, Sergio has no idea that he is not the only one who's having issues. All right, so final lap. Can we possibly limp this thing home? We got a huge lead, but we just need to limp this thing home. We are practically done on our engine. All right, let's see. A few more turns, and maybe we can just limp this thing in. All right, here we go. Around the final corner, and we did it. We did it. Now, Sergio is basically out of tire, but can he make it home? All right, we are in 6th. Look like he is going to lose that position, and he does, right at the last second, right at the line, man. So we just missed having both cars in the points, but the biggest thing here is, number one, I don't know how in the world we did it. 4% left on the engine. Wow. And of course, that I think is a simple byproduct of us pushing the car extremely hard every lap. Wow. My heart is beating right now, and it got even quicker once I realized that our engine was down to 4% reliability, 4% health. So a huge result for us in this race. You can see on this screen here some of the different strategies, 3 stoppers, but instead of trying to equal it out like I did, You can see that they tried to make it very short and then a little bit longer and then a much longer stint on the soft tires rather than the super soft. So we come home first and seventh. Thankfully, we have no need to worry about scrutineering. And okay, it doesn't look like anybody really lost anything in scrutineering. So we'll continue on and we take the top place on the podium. That gives us 10 points. And then if we look at the driver championship standings, that puts us now in the lead with Rafael. He's got 16 points. Sergio drops. Again, still no points for him yet in the season, but plenty of opportunity. If we can just get him on at least one podium, that will jump him up into the top 5. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. Now that puts us in the lead in the team championship standings, which of course is the most important. And it looks like Boa is who we're going to be fighting for this championship. All right, let's go ahead and move through. All right, let's see where our morale is. So we're near 100% with both now. Rafael is now at 95%. You can see he's no longer increasing his stats. He's got a new personality trait. And that's because of the win. It's going to give him increased morale, of course. And then a new unlock here. Soft tires wear more slowly. Okay, we're not worried about that. It's probably not any opportunity we're going to be using that. But anytime you have new mechanic relationships, you need to get those increased as much as you can. We came in first, so the chairman is very happy with us, but we're basically pegged out here. Marketability is at 95%. So everything pretty great here. So 275,000 is what we end up losing, a very, very small amount in the grand scheme of things. All right, so we'll move on. Thank you very much for joining me in this episode of our Let's Play series, and stay tuned for more Motorsport Manager.